Hey everyone, Wayne Unger back for the next episode of our Election 2020 series. Today's conversation is going to be about Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg, her unfortunate passing a couple of days ago, and clearing up some of the comments that I have heard from the right that I find horrific and just factually incorrect. So first, we know that Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg, before her passing, dictated her desire for the next president of the United States to choose her successor. Well, President Trump on Fox and Friends questioned whether she actually said this. He said, quote, "I don't know that she said that, or was that written out by Adam Schiff and Schumer and Pelosi?" And then Tucker Carlson, also on Fox News, said that if she said this, if she wished that she was not replaced until the next president was sworn into office, he described that as pathetic. He said, quote, "Ruth Bader Ginsburg does not get to pick her replacement from her deathbed. That is not how it works. We have a Constitution we are supposed to be defending, and that is the whole point of the Constitution." Well, Tucker Carlson, that is factually correct. The Senate and the President of the United States have every authority given to them by the Constitution to proceed with appointing her replacement and replacing and confirming that replacement in the Senate. However, the conversation that happens today is not whether they have the authority to do so, it's whether they should. From an ethical standpoint, from a presidential standpoint, that is the question, right? Will the GOP follow what they set and what they said in 2016 after Justice Scalia passed away and President Obama appointed Merrick Garland, who was then the chief judge of the DC Circuit, to fill Justice Scalia's seat? Which, by the way, was 11 months before the election. Here we are only a couple of weeks before the election. Now, granted, there are some key differences between the two situations. Number one, back in 2016, the president and the Senate were of different parties. Now in 2020, they're of the same party. We also have that timeline difference where we had 11-ish months back in 2016 and only less than 2 months, give or take a couple of weeks, ahead of the 2020 election. But my question to both you, Tucker Carlson, and President Trump is, have you no decency? Have you no decency that someone who passed away from stage 4 pancreatic cancer, horrific death, it's painful and I've seen it, has dictated what she wants her legacy to be and what she wants her seat to be? Now, she's been on the court since President Clinton. President Clinton appointed her in the 90s. And she has left a legacy that is bigger than many of us dream of. She fought for gender discrimination and the right for both men and women to be treated equally under the law. Not just women's rights. So, for example, in 1975, she argued that a man who was a widow and his child that was recently born should get the Social Security benefits that his now deceased wife paid into the Social Security Administration. She fought this the whole way up to the Supreme Court as a lawyer, she being Justice Ginsburg. And she won. So the equality under the law that exists for both men and women, we can trace back to Ruth Bader Ginsburg. She led the fight in gender discrimination, successfully argued 6 landmark cases before the court, before she was even on the court. And one of the horrific things that I've heard on the right is that she is responsible for 20 million babies being murdered. Obviously in reference to abortion. And here's the fact. Roe v. Wade was heard in the 1970s. She was not on the United States Supreme Court in the 1970s. She wouldn't be appointed until 20-something years later. Roe v. Wade, the 9 justices on the Supreme Court were all men. Moreover, all of them except one were white. Justice Marshall was not. So to say that somehow Justice Ginsburg is responsible for 20 million deaths of babies, unborn babies, Roe v. Wade, she had no say in. That's the fact. So my question to the right, and specifically to Tucker Carlson and President Trump, is, have you no decency? Have you no decency that someone just passed away and it's been less than a week before you're saying some of these comments? Have you no decency for Ginsburg's family, specifically her granddaughter, and saying you're questioning the authenticity of that statement? Are you questioning the credibility of her granddaughter? You should look in a mirror. That is all. Until next time, everyone, take care.